You have likely lived through a tragedy without even realizing it. I want you to think back to a specific moment in your life. Maybe it was last week at a coffee shop. Maybe it was a month ago at a friend's party. Or maybe it was years ago in a college library. There was a woman there. You noticed her. You felt that strange magnetic pull in your gut that told you, she is the one. You wanted to talk to her. Your heart was pounding against your ribs like a hammer, and your brain was racing, trying to come up with the perfect opening line. But then, the fear set in. The doubt crept into your mind like a poison. You told yourself, she's not interested, she's just being polite, she's out of my league. So you did nothing. You looked at your phone, you finished your drink, and you walked away. You went home alone, sat on the edge of your bed, and felt that heavy, crushing weight of regret. But here's the brutal truth that will haunt you. She was waiting. She was screaming at you, not with words, but with a silent, ancient language that is hardwired into her biology. She was begging you to step forward, but because you are illiterate in the language of female desire, you left her there, wondering why you didn't want her. This happens to millions of men every single day. It is the silent epidemic of modern loneliness. Today, we are going to stop that cycle. We are going to surgically remove the blindfold from your eyes. Before we dissect these behaviors, you need to understand the fundamental reality of the female experience, something most men are completely oblivious to. Society tells you that men are the hunters and women are the prey, but that is a primitive misunderstanding of evolutionary psychology. Women are not passive observers. They are the ultimate gatekeepers of reproduction and intimacy. However, they are bound by a cruel social paradox. If a woman is too direct, if she walks up to you and says, "Take me home," she risks social judgment. She risks being labeled easy, and paradoxically, she risks losing your respect. So evolution has equipped her with a covert communication system, a series of subconscious signals designed to trigger your pursuit instinct without forcing her to take the social risk. This is the plausible deniability mechanism. She needs to signal you in a way that is clear enough for you to notice, but subtle enough that she can deny it if you reject her. Understanding this is not just a dating trick, it is a matter of survival in the dating marketplace. If you are tired of walking home alone, if you are tired of seeing men with half your intelligence and half your value getting the women you dream of simply because they can read the signs that you miss, then you need to lock in right now. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel, not for me, but for yourself, because what we discuss here is the difference between dying alone and building a legacy. Let's descend into the details. The first signal is grounded in the science of proxemics, the study of human use of space. Every human being walks around with an invisible bubble, a threat radius. When a stranger enters this radius, our sympathetic nervous system triggers a fight or flight response. We tense up, we cross our arms, we place objects between us and the intruder. This is instinct. So, when a woman secretly wants you, she has to consciously and subconsciously override this survival instinct. Watch her environment carefully. If you are sitting across from her, observe the table. Is her purse sitting like a fortress between you? Is the menu standing up like a wall? Is her phone held high in front of her chest? These are barriers. But if she starts to dismantle these fortifications, pay close attention. If she takes her purse and places it on the floor, if she moves her water glass to the side to create a clear, unobstructed line of sight from her eyes to your chest, she is engaging in barrier deconstruction. She is practically clearing a landing strip for you. Furthermore, look for the proxemic shrink. If you are in a crowded room, a woman who is indifferent to you will maximize the distance. But a woman who desires you will find accidental reasons to be in your orbit. She will squeeze past you to get to the bar when there was plenty of room on the other side. She will stand just inside your personal bubble while waiting for her friend. This is not an accident. This is a biological probe. She is testing your reaction to her physical presence. She is invading your space to see if you will welcome the invasion. If she creates a situation where your arms brush against each other, or where you can smell her perfume, she is initiating a chemical handshake. She is telling your subconscious mind, I am safe, I am close, and I want you to close the gap. Do not dismiss this as a coincidence. Coincidences in mating rituals are extremely rare. We need to go back to the days of our ancestors to understand this next behavior. In the animal kingdom, the neck is the most vulnerable part of the body. It houses the jugular vein and the windpipe. A predator goes for the neck to kill. Therefore, exposing the neck is the ultimate sign of submission and trust. When a woman is guarded or uninterested, her shoulders will be slightly raised. Her chin will be tucked down. She is in turtle mode, protecting her vitals. But watch what happens when attraction hits her bloodstream. Her muscles relax. She will tilt her head to the side, exposing the smooth curve of her neck. She might even run her fingers along her collarbone or play with a necklace that rests in that hollow of her throat. This is the ventral display. This is not just her being cute. This is her reptilian brain signaling, "I am not a threat to you, and I trust you not to hurt me." It is a powerful feminine invitation for dominance. If you are talking to her and she laughs, throwing her head back and baring her throat to you, she is subconsciously surrendering to your masculine frame. Often this is accompanied by the hair preen. She might sweep her hair to one side. Yes, she wants to look good, but functionally, she is moving the curtain to reveal the stage. She is clearing the obstruction so you can see her vulnerable neck. If you see a woman exposing her neck to you repeatedly while maintaining eye contact, and you don't escalate the interaction, you are rejecting her deepest biological offering. You are telling her that her submission is not welcome, which will cause her to close up immediately. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but scientifically, they are the windows to the autonomic nervous system. You can fake a smile, you can fake a laugh, but you cannot fake your pupils. When a human being looks at something that stimulates them sexually or emotionally, the brain releases a flood of dopamine and oxytocin. This chemical cocktail causes the pupils to dilate rapidly, to take in more light, to take in more of the target. If you are speaking to a woman in a dimly lit bar, this can be hard to see, but in a well-lit environment, it is unmistakable. Her eyes will look darker, almost like black saucers. But it goes beyond just pupil size. You need to look for the wetness. When attraction is high, the tear ducts produce slightly more lubrication, giving the eyes a shimmering, glossy appearance. It's that sparkle that poets write about, but it's actually biology. And then there is the gaze duration. Normal platonic eye contact lasts about 3 seconds. Anything longer than that creates tension. If she holds your gaze for 4, 5, or 6 seconds, she is crossing the social boundary into the intimate boundary. She is trying to create a limbic resonance, a silent emotional sync between her brain and yours. If she looks down after this intense eye contact, pay attention to how she looks down. If she looks away horizontally, scanning the room, she is bored. But if she looks down towards the floor and then sweeps her eyes back up to you through her lashes, that is the submissive, flirtatious gaze. It is a gesture of humility mixed with desire. She is overwhelmed by your presence. This is where things get explicitly sexual, yet subtle enough that she can deny it. When we look at friends or colleagues, we use the power gaze, a triangle between the 2 eyes and the forehead. It's serious, it's intellectual, but when a woman wants you, her gaze shifts downwards. She will look at your left eye, then your right eye, and then her gaze will drop to your mouth. This is the triangular gaze of desire. Why does she do this? Because her brain is simulating the act of kissing you. She is subconsciously focusing on the body part she wants to interact with. Sometimes this is accompanied by her own oral fixation. She might bite her lower lip, run her tongue across her teeth, or touch her lips with her finger or a straw. This is called autoerotic manipulation. She is sensitizing her own lips because she is thinking about using them. If you are telling a story and you catch her eyes dipping down to your lips and lingering there while she parts her own mouth slightly, she is not listening to your words anymore. She is imagining the physical connection. This is a green light that is burning so bright it's blinding. If you continue to just talk about the weather or your job while she is looking at your mouth, you are killing the vibe. You need to recognize this moment, slow down your speech, lower your voice, and lean in. She is waiting for the kiss. You have probably heard of mirroring, where she copies your body language. If you cross your legs, she crosses hers. If you take a drink, she takes a drink. This is scientifically known as isopraxism, and it is a bonding behavior found in primates. But I want you to look deeper than just physical mimicking. Look for energy mirroring and linguistic matching. This is the advanced level of attraction. If you are speaking in a low, slow, relaxed tone, Does she drop her high-pitched nervous energy to match your calm? Or if you are high energy and joking, does she perk up to match your excitement? Even more telling is if she starts using your vocabulary. If you use a specific slang word or a specific phrase, and 5 minutes later she uses that exact same word, she is trying to build a shared identity. Her subconscious is telling her, we are the same. We belong to the same tribe. We are compatible. This is a massive indicator of high interest because it requires mental effort. She is rewriting her own software to be compatible with yours. She is signaling that she is willing to follow your lead, to adopt your frame of reality. When a woman starts to sound like you and act like you, she is trying to become part of you. This is the ultimate form of flattery and a clear sign she wants to merge her life, even if just for tonight, with yours. This behavior often confuses men. A woman who wants you needs to know if you are safe and if you are wanted by others. In evolutionary psychology, women are attracted to men who are already desired by other women. This is called preselection. If other women want you, you must have high value. So she will fish for information. She won't ask, "Are you single?" directly. That gives away too much power. Instead, she will say something like, "I bet your girlfriend hates that you're out this late." Or, "You seem like a player. You probably have girls texting you right now." Most men get defensive here. They say, "No, I'm not a player," or "I don't have a girlfriend." They panic. But you need to understand, she is hoping you are single, but she is validating that you are high value. She is testing you. She wants to see if you crumble under the pressure or if you can handle her playful accusation. If she brings up other women, it means she is thinking about you in the context of a relationship. She is visualizing you with a partner, and she is trying to see if that slot is empty. This is a qualifier. She is qualifying you to see if you are available for her. Do not get annoyed. Smile, look her in the eye, and playfully correct her. "My girlfriend? You mean my imaginary one?" Treat it as a game, because to her, it is the most serious game in the world. This is the final, undeniable proof of desire. Conversations naturally have lulls. Topics run out. Silence falls. In a platonic interaction, when the conversation dies, the interaction ends. People check their phones, look around the room, or excuse themselves to the restroom. They let the silence win. But a woman who secretly wants you fears the silence. She fears the end of the interaction because she hasn't gotten what she wants from you yet. Watch what she does when the conversation hits a dead end. Does she awkwardly try to restart it? Does she ask a completely random question like, "So, do you like cats or dogs? Or what's your favorite movie?" Seemingly out of nowhere? This is the resurrection protocol. She is frantically grasping for any thread to keep you tied to her. She is investing energy to keep your attention. In the economy of dating, attention is currency. If she is willing to spend her mental energy to keep you engaged, even when it's awkward, she is screaming for you to take the lead. She is saying, "I don't care what we talk about, just don't leave." If you see her fighting the silence, do not walk away. That is her pulling on your sleeve, begging you to stay. Gentlemen, the world is full of noise, but attraction speaks in silence. These 7 signals, the breaking of barriers, the baring of the neck, the dilation of the pupils, the triangular gaze, the mirroring of souls, the jealousy tests, and the resurrection of conversation, these are the hidden codes of the female heart. For years, you may have been blind to them. You may have walked past the love of your life in a grocery aisle or sat next to your soulmate in a bar, completely unaware that she was screaming for you to notice her. But that ignorance ends today. You now possess the decoder key. The next time you are out, don't just look, observe. Don't just listen, perceive. The reality is, women are waiting for you to lead. They are waiting for you to see the door they have cracked open and to have the courage to walk through it. Do not let another moment slip through your fingers because you were too afraid to trust your gut. Trust the signs, trust the biology, and most importantly, trust yourself. If this video opened your eyes to a reality you were missing, if you felt that pang of recognition, then you are ready for the next level. Join our tribe, subscribe to the channel, because we are not just talking about dating. We are talking about waking up from the slumber of mediocrity and becoming the man who sees everything. The game is on. Are you playing?